One particular image has become a symbol of the hardship. You've seen this, haven't you? This ceiling fan draped with icicles. It was taken by our first guest tonight, Thomas Black of Dallas. He and his girlfriend are running out of food. They're running out of water. They are boiling snow to get water now. Thomas, good to see you. How are you doing tonight?
How's it going, Chris? As of now, we're managing, but the gravity of the situation becomes more apparent by the minute. As you mentioned, we are boiling bathtub water. And really, I only knew to do that because I had a pouring of outreach, giving me tips on, how to weather this out. And without them, as a Texan, we're just not inherently prepared for something like this.
If you have the ability to get on the internet and you're going to boil snow, Google it. Take a look. There are different variables, different things you have to look out for. And look, you shouldn't have to be able to do this in the first place. This iconic photo, which I'm sure was never your intention, how did the water and the icicles get on that fan?
Again, lack of, preparedness. There's pipes busting. Our infrastructure just isn't, ready for something like this. And I think, ahead of time, we could have been warned about this. We could have been prepared by this. We could have had the energy structure to help us manage better, but we just don't.
This is all from your apartment building. What triggered you to start documenting the experience and putting it on social media?
Because I think that, any Texan, every Texan's blood should be boiling, that this is even the reality that we're living in right now. I'm thankful that, this is starting, to catch on to everyone around the world is seeing that we are in a bad situation and it's getting worse. Here, let me tell you something that might be a little bit PG-13. We're having to use the bathroom multiple times before flushing. And who should have to do that here?
What are you hearing about from other people in the building? How bad was it for people when they didn't have heat? I know there has been some power restored. Thank God it stays on. But what were you hearing?
A lot of the stories are, people are having to all migrate to, other neighbors' houses that do have power. And, with COVID being a thing, that's just another cause for concern, grouping people up together, that are from different households. In particular, downstairs, that's, where the flooding is really bad. I'm pretty sure these guys are having to evacuate.
We keep talking about how things are getting better. And I think it's a little insensitive of exactly how bad it still is. What do you want people to know? I mean, look, you're so together. You're so cool. You communicate so well. But this has got to be really bad still, even with the power, no?
Absolutely. I can put the face on of positivity and trying to get this, because I think that, as Texans, as Americans, we can get through things, but we do need help. And that help should be coming from the top. It shouldn't have to, be at the local level. Like, I have me and organizations like NV Gaming banding together to, take care of, our local community. We shouldn't have to be doing that. And that's just, that's just the truth.
What is the night like for you after we get off?
Really just, again, just playing it by ear. We've been woken up numerous times throughout the nights over the past 3 days to various alarms that I've never even heard that sound before. And, it's just being ready to be on our game. Do we need to pack up our stuff now? Do we need to, put things together and get out of the building? It's just a very uncertain reality that we're living in right now. And with the pipes busting, I don't know if we can handle the fire here. So, I mean, yeah, I do play it cool, but yeah, it's kind of scary.
And you see what's happening in San Antonio, God forbid. But if the firefighters have trouble getting access to water, a bad fire can become a catastrophic fire. Well,
Absolutely.
Listen, please, let's stay in contact. Thank you for putting images to the realities. I appreciate you for that, especially in a time of distress. We're a call away. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what you need. And please stay safe. Best to you and the family.
Have a good one.
All right, be well. Thomas Black. Look, it's phenomenal to me how together he is in that situation, because even with power restored, you heard what he's doing. It's just a horrible way to live, especially if it didn't have to happen. That first-hand look at the crisis on the ground has to go hand in hand with the accountability and how to get it better. Our next guest is Judge Clay Jenkins, the highest-ranking elected official in Dallas County. He, too, is demanding accountability from Texas leaders and power regulators. Welcome to Prime Time. I assume, Judge, you were never fooled by the idea that this is a green energy event, as the governor wanted you to believe.
No, this was a completely predictable event, Chris. There was a report issued by the federal government and the state government in 2011 saying this would happen. I testified and spoke before the legislature 2 years ago saying that this would happen, and it happened. And it's because Governor Abbott refused to weatherize the generator plants or modernize the gas lines as the report from his own legislature told him was necessary. When you choose to tell a regulated company that they don't have to do something, they're selling commodities, so you are instructing them not to do it. And in that effort to get the lowest price for big commercial users, they fail to protect residents from losing their power in extreme weather.
The argument that, no, we didn't have enough money to do everything, and because we had to spend so much money on the wind turbine infrastructure, we didn't get to use it for the coal and the gas, and if we had, none of this would have happened. Do you accept that?
This is a deregulated market, so they're not building wind energy or any other type of energy. Companies are building infrastructure based on the specs that the governor's office gives them of what is required. They didn't put weatherization in their specs, so the companies built a cheaper product so they could sell energy at a higher profit. This is not about the taxpayers building anything.
Now, in terms of looking at this going forward, you are saying that the governor is aware of what happened here. And what we're seeing now are secondary effects of the systemic inequality at play. Power is not coming back as quickly in lower income areas and minority areas. Why is that?
Well, I don't know exactly, but what has happened in the past with power is the older the infrastructure, and the governor has refused to replace it as the reports and the legislature have requested. The older that infrastructure is, the harder it is to cycle and roll and come back on, the easier it is to break. And the older housing stock tends to be where the most vulnerable populations live.
Now, right now, the governor's office says they're working with FEMA. They're trying to do everything they can. What else is needed, and what are you worried about in terms of how this will be handled in the next few days?
Well, right now, our big problem is drinkable water. 10 million, that's 1/3 of the Texans, don't have a safe drinking water source other than bottled water or water that they boil because the energy going to the water treatment centers failed. FEMA worked with us quickly. We got generators on our water treatment here in Dallas, and we saved our water supply system. And so we're in pretty good shape, but some of our other smaller cities within my county are on boil water notices. So that's a huge concern. And then, Chris, as it thaws, you're going to have pipes breaking all over Texas, and you're going to have people in need of plumbers. There's just not enough plumbers to go around. I'm very worried for our citizens, both their comfort and their pocketbook.
And the contagion, because you have people, as you well know, Judge, crowding together into where somebody has power and where you have people moving around as they can. Are you worried about the combination of not being able to vaccinate people and having people crowded together, that you may have your own kind of homemade variant here of spread?
Well, we're doing everything we can to keep that from happening. We'll be back up and operational on vaccinations on Sunday. I reached out to the Department of Defense and the Biden administration and asked for a shooter team from the Army. They're coming down, and as soon as the weather clears enough for them to get here, they'll join my team, and together we'll catch up those vaccines.
Will people be able to get to you?
People will be able to get to us. The weather here in DFW is getting above freezing tomorrow for a little bit, and then it will get well above freezing on Saturday, so that by the time we start on Sunday, the roads should be clear. A lot of the people getting to us, Chris, are second shots people above the age of 75. So we need those roads to be safe before we can operate. If it's not safe for you to get there, we won't operate. But as soon as it is, we'll operate and we'll get you caught up and get you your shot.
Do you have the supply? Has the federal government been able to get you supply in this weather?
The federal government is shipping supply directly to Dallas County in a partnership between Dallas County and the federal government. That supply has not arrived yet. However, we have some backlog supply from all the entities that weren't able to get it out this week. So our Army team and also doctors who are it's their day off on Sunday. Even without the Army, we're going to have 61 shooters already from doctors and pharmacists who are coming in to help us on Sunday because this community will come together even when our state utterly fails us, as they have in this disaster.